Two.
Mm, 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 mm. All right. Yeah. I'm waiting for Connect streaming software. I did that already. Yes. And we're going live. Excellent. All right. This is Papa Duke's OG Social Network Podcast on my fourth podcast of the week. Yesterday was crazy. I had a great time with Charles Johnson, Esquire, a member of the NAACP and of Cornell Weill University, with Marjorie and Sam Forbes Mendez of Just a Woman Cannabis. They became my sponsor yesterday. They're going to be handling our StreamYard for the year. I love them so much.
Okay.
Thank you. Then we had a great interview. Yes, ma'am. Then we had a great interview with uh, Darren Hudson, the owner of the Sanctuary Garden. He's going to be our transportation sponsor for the New York State Canna Farms Tour. Got a Sprinter van last night, and it's going to fit like 20 people. I'm like fucking
Can I?
excited.
No.
No, we start on the 23rd to Canacure Farms. A lot of information will be going out later on in the day and this weekend. And we are building and growing. As everyone know, welcome to the podcast, the OG Social Network Podcast. We are here with Miss Kitty Rose. The podcast is sponsored by Produce 420, New York City Cannabis Exchange, Myers Security, Gordy's Goodies, Green Spectrum, and my dear friend Sohan Bashar over at Silk Road. God bless him. I hope you all are doing well today. I'm here with Minister Kitty Rose. She is an amazing young lady. I said last event that, last podcast that you were a therapist. You're not a therapist, but I think you're just a great life counselor. I've been checking out your podcast, listening to your haircut looks amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
You look fabulous. We were talking about your podcast, and where do you shoot your podcast?
At BronxNet Community Television here in New York.
No kidding. Well, that's awesome because I'll be shooting August 12th and 19th at Manhattan Neighborhood Network,
Oh, nice.
509 38th Street. So we'll be there. I do as many interviews as possible so I can have content for like a month, 2 months at a time. And
I shoot sometimes there because my fiscal sponsor is in Harlem. So
right.
When doing my parenting series, that's the location that I use.
Oh,
my weekly show is at BronxNet.
I like the background.
And you know what? People thought that was a screen.
No, that's your actual background.
Yeah,
right?
I feel like I'm at Good Morning America or something like in Times Square. Where I
think that it brings it just is beautiful. But we also got confirmed for our finally. Let me show y'all real quick. Boom.
Talking about himself today, y'all.
Well, I'm sorry, I have to.
Give yourself your flowers.
I have to, young lady. Yes. We are confirmed now to be on the Manhattan Neighborhood Network. We'll be on Spectrum, Channel 34, FiOS, Channel 33, and RCN, Channel 82.
Nice.
So I'm like, welcome. What the hey? Yes.
Welcome.
So we're doing.
Because my first show on television was a cannabis-based related show. And it was a field show that I did called Natural Sessions. And that's how I first started in my life in television, having sessions with folks at their location. And we was a late night show. So I'm wondering what time slot they're going to give you. But congratulations.
10 o'clock.
Oh, they gave you a before 11? Do they know you smoking on the show?
Well, I mean, like I don't show I'm smoking, so it looks like it's a cigarette.
Okay.
Right, but going forward, say for example, I want to start lighting up.
Yeah.
I put you on. I just realized all this shit 2 shows ago, right? Yeah. I'm like, that was yesterday. Okay. So I was like, oh shit, damn. Oh fuck, yeah, let me do that.
But they just put you on after 11. You
yeah,
should, you know,
yeah.
but 10
So, but
o'clock is still late night. So
yeah,
congratulations. And now the beauty is that now that your show is on Manhattan Neighborhood Network, you could just submit it to all the other networks as a
right,
playback producer. So you don't
right.
even have to be there. You could still be at Brick. You could still be at BronxNet. Like, congratulations. Yes, it's
Yeah.
definitely your next level. Amen. Good job, brother. But I
We
see you out there. I've been following you on IG lately, and you are definitely making the rounds. I have to say, I don't know how old you are, but your energy, brother. Go ahead.
I'm 161 years old.
Okay.
Uh, and uh, what got me, I think, was um, I was a slacker. So I rarely hold on for a minute. There we go. I rarely worked, or
Okay.
I didn't put in no effort and shit. And I had
Okay.
the ability. No, I'm being honest. I
Okay.
traveled the country. I wanted to do what 20-year-olds supposed to do, go out and find themselves. And I didn't know what to do. I knew what to do. My mom always said I should have been on radio,
Oh.
and do voiceover. But I didn't know what my plan was in life until 2022, when marijuana was legal in New York.
You said
And
that early in our last
yeah,
conversation because you was baking during that
yeah,
time.
I was
Okay.
baking,
Okay.
and I had a friend of mine. I was making butters and tinctures and stuff, and a friend of mine gave me Rick Simpson oil and showed me how to use it. And I made these amazing fucking like lovely wafer chocolate chip cookies, thin. And people, I was telling people, and they were moist, by the way, they weren't crunchy. So I was telling people, don't eat a lot of this, because I did, and I was fucked up for 2 days. So,
As an OG, you was fucked
but
up.
but then from there, it just everything is rolled. I went from
Okay.
uh, tr- getting into edible making, which I'm really good at, but I don't like the cooking and cleaning. So then I got into events and hosting underground events and
Okay.
legacy events.
Okay.
And I had almost like over 100 of those in a 3-year period. Um,
Wow. A
yeah,
hundred in a 3-year period.
yeah,
Okay.
I was doing a lot, right?
Okay.
And then now it's
You know
this.
Tariq Buds?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So now we're doing this. We have
Nice.
the podcast. We have the Cannon Farm
Elevation.
Store. We have Elevate Innovate event. We're going to be on YouTube, on Amazon, Spotify. We're on. I got to actually upload on my Spotify today. We're going to be on at many events. CJEI, Terrence Coffee,
Right. Nice.
is going to be hosting and collaborating with my alma mater, Lehman College.
Okay.
I'm going to be hosting podcasts there
Nice.
with him. Uh, uh, and I'm meeting all of these beautiful organizations. We were with Minority Cannabis Business Association, also Cooney on the Hudson, and then before that, we did Tanya Osborne Canadiva's event for the youth, young adult professional development day.
Nice.
Just trying to get young people out there.
So, what is your message? Like, because you found your calling or you found happiness in a calling later in life, is that your message then to young people when you meet them that it's okay to not know when they're fucking 20 because
when
you
I
know fine?
when I ask a young person, what is it you want to do in life? They say they don't know. I said, that's the best answer you can give yourself.
Okay.
You don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you were raised in a family or in a family. I'm not saying just mom and dad. I'm saying a family unit that has always run business. You were living that disciplined lifestyle. You were taught. That's where it'll work for you. You should know. You should have an idea. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When and I tell people, the younger children, what do you like to do? I want to learn. I like to do this. oh, you could do that and still do that as a career.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a musician, whatever. So you have to practice every day. You've got to learn it. You got to master it. What people don't understand is that, like, for example, everybody, we know that the African American woman, black, I hate black and white. So the African American woman,
Okay.
all right, we're not fucking Crayola crayons. The African American woman, they start businesses. They're the highest, what, percentage, business ownership, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Well, it's because they sit down and think about this shit. All right. And although many fail, if they do fail, it's due to lack of resources, support. They don't have the finance to compete.
So
Right. Go ahead.
So I don't know if this was your strategic way of introducing or letting the folks know about this tour that I'm doing right now, but that is the reason
Oh,
why my show is doing this new tour or this new series called Women Investing in Women. Because
yes.
even though we are the highest in creating platforms or creating opportunities for businesses, we are the smallest percentage of in the spectrum that actually get investors.
Mm-hmm.
So that's but when you invest,
It's less than 2%.
it is they Google has it at 2%. But
Yep.
when you do invest in a woman's business, because we are so anal in detail, and not to say that men aren't.
No. Look, first off, let's do this. Let's this is something I need for you to understand. I
Okay.
just had I was just having a little therapy session with this young lady.
Yes.
Right? We need to stop. We already know men and women are different.
Okay.
Right?
Let me get my plug before my computer says low battery. Keep
Oh,
me
go,
going.
go, go.
I can hear you though.
No, I gotta wait till you come back and we gotta cut.
Okay.
That's your problem.
Okay.
And maybe I could be off on this statement too as well.
Okay, I'm here. I'm
Because
listening.
maybe I could be a little bit off too in this statement. I just feel like maybe I'm even naive. I've always never felt a woman was lesser than me. That's
Okay.
impossible. I've never felt that
Well,
at
I don't know if
all.
that's being naive of you. Maybe that's just, you being progressive and not falling into the the blur of having us be distracted by gender roles. Because
Right,
that's just another distraction that's been created to
right.
think create the chaos.
It's like right now. What I keep telling, I tell redneck motherfuckers,
Mm-hmm.
my brother, we're in a race. We're not in a race war. We're in a class war.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
We're not in a race
But
war,
wait.
bruh,
But
bruh. Have you know who the best friends you ever seen? The best friends, two people together,
okay.
is a redneck motherfucker and a deep South black man.
Yes, Lord.
And you see the genuine
Yes.
because that brother saw he was the white brother, the European brother saw that what he was taught was wrong.
Right.
And then not only that, rednecks aren't racist. Rednecks were actually used as were Irish people who worked in the fields and they were red, and they were just as much slaves as us. Okay, and rednecks flipped it like we flipped nigger.
Mm-hmm.
We flipped it, and made it nigger.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we flip everything. Shit, back in the day, would you dare call our seniors a bitch? Even under just conversation?
Right.
Oh no, those were fighting. They were fighting out in the street.
Mm-hmm.
Friends that you call me a bitch. All right, so we flip it now, right? So what I know, getting back to your tour, that's
Mm-hmm.
where I want you to go. I'm sorry.
No, because it's all relevant. Because even in business, like part of these conversations or these panel conversations that we're gonna have are gonna be talking to different women about these different aspects that they face in running a business. And a lot of that is the uneducation or the education that we are taught about these gender roles. And sometimes people not taking us serious when it comes to being in the room asking for money, or they want to put they do business with us, but they want to see if they could get some pussy. You know what I'm saying? And that's always like a very fine line. And I think that is another thing that happens under these myths or conversations of these gender roles, because you wouldn't do that in a room with another man in business. So there's something that makes
Yeah,
you think
yeah.
that
It's
you can do
because
that.
it's a page. It's a what I call it's in Latin America. It's called machismo, and it's in other. It's this macho bullshit that men were taught, not realizing that this is somebody's mother,
Oh,
sister,
okay. That.
aunt, grandmother,
Mhm.
but not realizing this is also business. The
Yeah.
fuck are you doing? This
Yeah.
is business.
You know.
I was at MJ Unpacked, great organization, great industry event. I had a great time, got a lot of content, good people. But some of the people that attend are fucking idiots, right? So I'm in a conversation. It's a group of lovely ladies. These guys walk up, and they hear us talking business, and what comes out of their mouth was, "Hey, what are you all doing tonight?" And it's like, one young lady said, "Well, we're going to this event. Hey, yeah, we can all go together." And it was like, I personally could feel like, nigga, you up here trying to ask for a date in the middle of a fucking
Right,
What are you doing?
right. And you think we're boo boo the fool because we're women.
Right.
Like we
And
won't say
so,
connect the dots. And that's
so,
the other thing that you have to kind of like deal with in the conversation, because you don't want to be disrespectful to them being disrespectful.
right, right,
And you want to still be polite in a way that their feelings are not hurt. But then you're doing it so that you could be professional and protect you from not cursing them out. And then that becoming your reputation that you're an angry black woman. You know, or
right.
that you're
And
an
you're
angry,
not,
or that you're
no,
an
or
angry
you're just
woman.
angry woman.
Right. You know
No,
what I'm
you're
saying?
not.
So
You're, yeah,
so this forum, because we're so far, we're going to 10 cities. Like next week, I'll be in NOLA for Essence Fest.
right,
And I'm excited, for the women that we're going to meet, because we have the owner of the restaurant that we're shooting the show at. Then we have, another woman who is an artist, but they come from different aspects of different mediums of business. But the similarities, just like in any business, when it comes to even men, are the same. You know what I'm saying?
So you didn't get that haircut for me? It's because you're going to
No,
NOLA.
I
You
did.
see where we went though, right? You see where we went though, right?
But no, I did get the haircut for you,
Oh,
but I also got the haircut because
I
I
love it.
love.
But let's go
But,
back.
no,
You
but this
see
is
where we
no,
going?
but this is the reason, because I love my braids.
Right,
I love my braids, but I
right.
hide behind my braids.
Yeah.
I hide behind my braids, and I look like a child with my braids. And I love the
You look,
youthfulness, but I
you
look like
look,
a child. So
just, you
when
look.
I wear my hair natural or when I wear my hair cut, one, I
Right,
look like a grown woman. You know what I'm saying?
right,
But it was also like freeing myself from hiding. Like right
right,
now, 50, I had to, understand what that meant. 51 with this tour and everything that's growing with my business and the parenting series. Like I gotta step into my shit. And if I gotta
yeah,
step into my shit, I can't hide behind what I think looks good because it's safe, like my braids. Like,
right,
let's cut it off, strip down, expose myself, because I love myself, and
right.
be authentic in who I am and show up like a grown 50 plus year old woman that I am.
Well, I gotta tell you, I would have never suspected you even past 40. I would have done late 30s,
I think
maybe
I'm about to
40.
start going with that though, because
No,
sidebar.
no, no.
Wait, 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 wait. Sidebar, right? So I was watching something on television, and it seems like only young women get rich old men who want to give away money.
No, you don't want.
I
First
was
off,
like, maybe I
there's
need
a
to start telling men I'm 30, so they'll give me some more money.
there's a lot of strings attached to that. I'll tell
I
you
know.
that now, right?
I ain't playing
But
with
I mean,
games.
but like So tell us more about NOLA though, and the other cities that you're touring.
Well, NOLA is going to be new because I'm foreign to that city. I went there last year for my birthday, but this year, being a part of or going before Essence Fest and being in the city during Essence Fest, first of all, I know it's going to be massive. So already for our studio show that we're shooting at Barron's, we have already 30 people RSVP'd for our studio taping that we're doing on July 2nd before Essence Fest activity. So we could get you hungry and even more excited for just that spiritual congregation that
Right.
happens during this weekend.
Right.
And I heard that, men ain't no fools. So the men who are smart, since they know the city is going to be full of women, there's going to be a bunch of men. So,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
I bet you are. You be careful
And
out there. Don't be coming back with any extra
I'm like
packages.
pregnant.
No. Oh my God. And that's the thing too. You could, yeah, you can still get pregnant.
That's why I'm still on
Uh,
birth control. Yes.
oh, that's fucking crazy.
Because
I never heard a 50-year-old on birth control.
I swear, as soon as I get off this bitch, I swear I'm gonna get pregnant. So I'm staying on birth control until that shit is at the end of it.
How now you have kids, right?
I have 3 young adult kids.
What?
Yeah. 30, 27, and 21. Hallelujah.
God damn. And you still could get pregnant.
Well, Janet got pregnant at 50. So what the fuck?
Janet's a fucking weirdo. He's
But
a weirdo.
so then we go to Houston and then we come back to New York. The 22nd, 23rd, and the 24th. I'm here in New York shooting 2 days at BronxNet. And then that Friday, I'm shooting at John DeVoe restaurant. And the reason why I'm saying these things is because these are all small businesses, but they're all being supported by other small businesses. Because I think what happens a lot is that everyone tries to level up with someone above them. And that's all gravy if you could get that connection. But why not level up with the people that is in your network? Why not level up with the people that you've been doing business with the last 20 years? Everyone that I have on the panel, at least here in New York, I've known them for some time. I've watched them do their business. I've watched them grow. I've watched them invest in others. So it's not just me calling random names. Like, we have all relationships with these people. Even a woman that's producing this series with me, she met me on LinkedIn 10 years ago, have invested in my company 3 times. And guess what? Only made money once, but still supports me, still invests. And that's the other thing that we have to learn about investment. Sometimes we don't make our money back, but do we not still see why we made that initial investment? So do we stop fucking with the person?
Right. What I learned about this last year are the people that are investing in me. They've taught me and made my motto is ROI, return on investment.
Okay.
Right. Now they know they're not going to they can make monetary from me through networking.
Okay.
Right. I get them the clients that they need. Like, for example, Proteus 420, I'll be working with them as their New York State rep. Okay. They need help out here. That's my sponsor. Green Spectrums, I'm their rep. Their products are amazing and they work. Meyer Security, all of my sponsors, all of them. I'm doing commercials for a New York City Cannabis Exchange. You see, so and we have to provide a great network,
right,
of people, like you said, that you can grow together.
But you see what you're also doing, which is why what you put in the advertisement for today's show. It's also about the branding and working with collaborations or shared partnerships that meet your brand. Because sometimes what happens is that people are just looking for money, that they don't have relationships or brands that work with their messaging. So it looks confusing to the audience that's trying to support you financially. They're like, because I think what happens is that people don't give consumers enough credit. And consumers are not stupid. And in this time and climate, when people are holding their pockets and being very selective about how much money they spend or where they spend their money, then they want to feel connected to you. So if you're now doing brand partnerships that make sense with the brand that you are, then that's how the exposure actually benefits everybody involved. But if you work with a brand that doesn't do anything for you, is not anything that you're
Oh
about,
yeah.
how can you connect the dots? How can you look for that brand to elevate your brand? How can you elevate that brand or now your platform if you guys are two different types of entities? It's like you're trying to go against the mold. So kudos to you in showing also what it looks like to have these brand partnerships, to have these relationships, because they have to make sense not only for your company but for your audience that you are trying to retain. Because that's the other thing, you want to be able to retain your clients, your audience. One-time buys are great, but consistent. Even the guy I go buy my weed from, now I started microdosing, so now I'm on the wax, right? So
Right.
this literally 6 grams lasts me 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. So that means I only see him twice a month. Now, how can a business who's 10 years old last with a customer who fucking comes twice a month? But if
Right.
you got 100 of me,
You're good. You're good. I have like with my activations. You see, let me show you my activations real quick. See, with my activations, right?
oh,
We
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. So we put these together. But the thing about it is, my partners aren't restricted to these. They
Right.
can call me for anything.
Okay.
Right? They could call me. They're not restricted to these lovely, inexpensive sponsorships.
Okay.
Many of these sponsorships uh, help us run our operations, right?
Right.
But what I do is uh, I I don't tell them I need money. I tell them I need a piece of equipment or I
Okay.
need something to the next level. I barter. I
Right.
barter more than I negotiate.
I do too.
Right. Well, I barter
Well,
in my
yeah, right.
negotiations.
I won't say more than, but I
Yeah,
barter a lot.
I barter in my negotiations,
Uh-huh.
right? Because I understand and respect their fiscal responsibilities.
Right. Right.
Okay,
But
and
but you're understanding what you need. And a lot of businesses early on, even years down the line, don't understand what they need. So they don't know how to ask for their acts. So their ask is only monetary when they don't so when they realize that you can ask more in your acts, just like a writer. When you have an artist come on and they give you a write of everything that they want in their dressing room, it's the same way now when you're negotiating the terms of these sponsors, or now for you coming onto public access, underwriters. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Like, how do we still benefit from these relationships? So even with this partnership that I'm doing with Quamara, a part of the tour, yes, I'm getting paid, but then something just came up. So I have 2 suitcases. I have my equipment suitcase that I thought I can take small because I just had my tripods. But I said, you know something, Kat, you've been doing this a minute. Don't fuck around and not have lights. When I went to Africa, I only took 2 lights and it didn't do me justice. So
right,
now, based off of my experience, I'm taking 4 lights to New Orleans. So my lights is making my suitcase the next level. I got to take the biggest suitcase.
right,
I told my producing team, I was like, look, I got to take 2 suitcases now. That's another fee. I
right.
need you guys to
Well,
pay for my suitcase fee, not my personal one, but that equipment.
right,
I need you
right,
guys to cover that cost.
right. Now, but the thing about it is, there's equipment now and lighting systems that you can use, not the big ones. I have
No,
those.
they're not big. They're small, but still
Oh,
between 4 lights, 3 tripods, and yeah, between the 4 lights, the 3 tripods, and then all the other little stuff, the small cameras, the cell
you
phone.
probably you probably need
Yeah.
you probably just threw all that shit in there, didn't even pack it right.
Well, I still have stuff on the table.
Like I went like for like my daughter. I bought my daughter this beautiful freaking suitcase. We're
Mhm.
going to Florida. It was a few years back. She's trying to pack. We're gonna be gone for a little bit, and I'm like, I can't fit all this in there. And I'm looking at her. I'm like, I bet you $100 I could fit because I gave her $100.
Did she
Right?
lose 100?
Man, I took that fucking $100, but I didn't take it back. I got let it. But I packed all this stuff like real easy. Boom, 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 blah, 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 laid out, blah, 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 showed how to do it. And that's why it's really, it's, with me too, because I got to carry, you know, my lights and my cameras and stuff. I have Mevo.
Okay.
So, but they're 1080p. So I have to go upscale to 8K now. So that's what we're working on next. But honestly, I use my Samsung phone half the fucking time.
Right, but like we're shooting in a restaurant.
Oh, no, that's
So
yeah.
that's why I'm like, you know what? Even and we're not shooting during the day. So I
Right.
can have a natural light.
Oh no, yeah.
So even if the restaurant gives me light, I'm still like,
Yeah, you need that. You need that
you know
setup.
what I'm saying? So and I just want to make, and because now, this is 10 coming into 10 years now in media. This is a big opportunity for me as a producer right now. This is a huge opportunity, me as a producer and a director, traveling on the road, taping these shows. So I don't want to fuck up. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather have it and not use it than not have it and need it. And that
And
has
this is
happened more times.
the Essence Fest in
Well, we're,
NOLA.
we're riding on the Essence Fest. Let me make
No,
that
no, there's nothing wrong with that. I
no,
mean, you
no,
go.
no, there's nothing wrong with it. That's why I don't mind saying it. But I don't want Essence Fest to fucking sue me either. So
Yeah. But you're
that's why
going
I said,
to
let me say, folks,
yeah. Go ahead.
but we're riding off of that week because we know that that's what women are coming to New Orleans for, to be empowered, to be inspired, to be around beautiful women of color, to feel sexy, to eat good food, to dance and celebrate. So why not launch our series during this week when everyone is in that feeling and in that mode, so we can start off that the festivities by having our taping on July 2nd. Like I said, it already got I would say 25 folks RSVP in a restaurant space. You know what I'm saying? I had to do more event capacity because the sister that I'm doing the show for, Kwamara, is from New Orleans. So that's the other part. Not only is she from New Orleans, she's invested in the Kitty Rose lifestyle. She's invested in Kitty, the next chapter. I can't come to her city and not show up correct.
Right. No, I agree. Yeah, I agree.
So I'm excited about this, and I'm excited about the women all over from Toronto, because when we get back to New York, we leave for Toronto July 30th. So I've never been to Canada before, so I'm excited about that. And the folks that's helping us in Canada, like every team we have right now in these cities, are some dope ass folks that believe in the vision, because they have also benefited from women investing in them. So they see it and they understand it, but they also have benefited. So it's not like, oh yeah, we see the vision and we get it and we just want to show what it looks like. No, they actually are doers in being active investors. Kwamara's a philanthropist, and we don't see a lot of young Black people or people of color that invest in others. Most of the time, I've been in business now since 98. The Kitty Rose lifestyle has been in business since 2006. Most of the time when I'm looking for money, it's white money, it's white investors, the banks, loaners, venture capitalists, angel investors. They all be white. Now I've met some Black ones. Harlem Venture Group, the Empowerment Zone, they've all invested money in me. Harlem Arts Alliance, all Black companies, yes. But when I've also more times in the room have looked for money, it's been with white folks. So it's beautiful to be and see people of color invest, make money, and not make money, and still be investing in other companies. I said that backwards, but y'all get what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, all my sponsors are diverse, so
okay, and I'm not mad at that.
No, I love it. I love it. No. I look.
Money is green.
I'm like this, right? I'm like this. As long as we have like-minded,
that part,
right? and we're all on the same page, and I know I can provide that service that you require. I don't care where you're from. And it's, and the key word is like-minded. So, Dawn and David, the beautiful couple, Michael Vertucci and his family, Joanna, and the boys, that they're Italian. Uh, uh,
Okay.
um, David, it looks like a tall Viking
Mhm.
uh, from Produce 420. And Dawn is from Philly. She's Irish and Polish, I think, or something like that. But
Okay.
I have all these beautiful mixed people. I have
And
Morel Souvenir from New York City Cannabis Exchange. She's Haitian. Um, uh, you know, um, Gordon Weinstein, Jewish.
nice.
Um, you know,
But
um,
that's the point that
yeah,
I'm making about there are more likely to invest than folks of color. But I don't think that's true. I think that's the myth that's put
right,
out there. So
right,
that we don't look to people that look like us to invest because we think that we don't have the capital or that we're going to turn them down. And
right.
let's go to the others that appreciate me, appreciate my brand, that can see my vision. And that's what ends up happening a lot of the times. But what this tour is going to show is that all the different cultures support when you have a good business plan, when you have a good
Hmm.
vision, and when you do good work. And I think a lot of times people are looking for people to give to them and they don't make the investment in themselves and they're not doing the work or they're not realizing that people are watching them. You're getting these partnerships now because people see you out there doing the work.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You think that you would get these partnerships if you just said, "Hey, my name is OG Papa Dukes. I got a podcast." What the fuck? Everybody got a podcast.
Everybody got a podcast.
You know what
I
I'm
I I got
saying?
to tell you though, um, also I love talking to people, so that helps. I love
But not everybody's good
communication,
at it.
and not everybody can really get into this. I've seen a lot of podcasts where, they're not prepared. They're asking very inappropriate questions, or it's just not flowing.
Right.
And I've had some great podcasts with some
Amen.
great people. So, I appreciate um, being able to do this. But what I wanted to you know definitely say was uh, organizations like us. We truly are out here trying to educate, not trying, but educating people,
Right.
talking about a variety of subjects and content. So uh, when you when you how often do you do your podcast? That's what I wanted to ask. How often do you do your show?
Well, my show airs weekly, and I was shooting it every week, but now I am shooting 4 different shows. So the schedule is not allowing me. So I pretty much shoot maybe twice, 3 times a month.
Hmm.
But I air weekly and I air daily in New York because I'm on all the channels. So I
Right.
air Monday through Sunday every day, but my show is a weekly show.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, because you be popping up on the reels too.
Come on now.
Yeah, you be popping up. You're popping up on the reels, and you
Which is
definitely
also how I got this opportunity to produce now this series because
right.
people, so Kamara sees the work. It's not like, okay, Kat decided to get into television last year. Let me give her this opportunity. It's
Hmm.
like, all right, Kat got into this with Natural Sessions in 2016. And then COVID hit, and then Kat came back with the next chapter. Now Kat went to this city here and this continent here, and she filmed this and she made this movie. Okay, and from folks watching what you're doing and your brand developing into a trustworthy source of reliability, whatever it is that you're servicing, then you get the opportunities that you didn't even think that you needed or wanted the time that you're supposed to get them, instead of
Right.
rushing the process or rushing like, well, why isn't this happening fast enough? It's all a part of the plan of structuring even you as a business and preparing you, because when you get that 15 minutes, if you fuck it up, you're probably not going to get it again. So,
Right.
and it takes a good 10 years. It
Right.
takes good 10 plus years. First of all, it takes 7 years for you being in business for you to be even looked upon as a legitimate business. And then it takes 10 years for you to actually say that you are in business, that have been in business. So when
Right.
folks say, it took 20 years, yo, that's some real shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I might have been
Yep.
an overnight success to you, but I've been putting in the work 10, 15
Yep.
years to get to this 20-year that people could be like, oh, now here she is. So you got to stay the course, but you have to also educate people along the way, because you got so many other things distracting you and discouraging you. And that's why everybody can't do this. That's why everybody can't be a boss. That's why everybody can't run a podcast. That's why everybody can't produce television, because you have to find what you're good at and then continue to do the work so that you can excel and become an expert. But if you think that it's going to happen overnight, then you're fooling yourself, and you're doing the disservice to yourself, not the community.
Definitely. I've been telling people, especially the new card licensees, who have been given a license, they don't have, many of them don't have the experience to run a business.
Right.
So, understand the dedication it takes to keep a business running.
Yeah.
So,
and there's programs out there for you, and sometimes people don't want to take. You could do cohorts to learn how to write a business plan.
yeah.
That's a waste of time. All those stuff helps you understand
Oh my God.
business.
Fast Track. I love Fast Track.
And
Big shout
then
out to Fast Track.
I did the Lillian Project. I did a few of them. I did
Mhm.
Project Enterprise. Like I did a few of them over
Yeah.
18 years, because you think that. And I watched Shark Tank. That's like one of my fucking favorite shows, because
Mhm.
you also have to understand terminology. And
Mhm.
sometimes when you're not sometimes, so when you're asking for money and people asking you the questions about what's your break even, and that, like all of these technical questions, and you're like, well, I don't know, then you're already out, you're discounted. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So you have to learn these things. So there are no shortcuts. And so many times people are trying to take shortcuts. So again, on this tour, you're going to hear from experiences of experts in business who have even tried to take shortcuts and they didn't work. And that's why they might still be where they're at in this position, or they learn to pivot and change their mindset so that they can change their business formula. So, we have to learn to adapt if that's what we want to do. We're going to have, like in New York, my mother-in-law is one of the panelists, right? But she's reinventing herself in retirement, now owning her own business, because she was a teacher or an educator for the majority of her career. But now it's like in retirement, what do I still now want to do? And what does that look like? What do the challenges look like in my 70s, being my own boss as an educator, but still having someone to report to? And now the structure of owning and operating my own business in my 70s, what does that look like? And the challenges and rewards, but also her experiences from being 70 plus, investing in her children who all had wives. So she
Mhm.
indirectly invested in me as a woman, because she invested in her son, who was my husband,
Mhm.
in our growth, in our store, in our expansion. So it's like, those are the kind of conversations. It's not just going to be all women who've been in business for 15, 20 years. No, this is an 80-year-old woman who's only now been in business maybe less than 10 years, but has still have so much to bring to the table in educating young women and being a reflection of women who are now trying to or wanting to reinvent themselves, who might think because they see this face that my audience or coming to the show is only for the 40-year-olds or the 51-year-olds. No, women in business goes from 20 something. No, I'm lying. Women in business can go from as young as 9, 10 years old when you come up with an idea.
Yeah.
However old, you are still with breath in your life coming up with an idea to run and operate a business.
Well, I want to tell you, we're going to wind it down. We're going to have to
Yes.
come back to part 3. Yeah, because this is amazing. I could talk to you every week. In fact, you probably should be on my show every
I
week.
was thinking that, babies. Look at what
Yeah.
manifestation does.
Yeah, we're gonna when we get off when we get off, I want to talk to you real quick. So
Mhm.
yeah, so everyone, I just want to say we're gonna just end it right here because I do have other things that need to be done today, and I am so blessed to have had Minister Kitty Rose on the show. She is definitely going to be a regular on the show, and we have great conversations. The next one we're going to talk about love, life, and
I
people.
was just saying. I was just thinking that in my head. You
Yeah, yeah, you
I was
see.
just thinking that.
So yeah, we connected. We there. We
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
I want to thank my sponsors: Proteus 420, New York City Cannabis Exchange, Green Spectrum, Myers Security, Gordy's Goodies, and my friends Sohan Bashar over there at Silk Road. Thank you all for attending today. This is like I think I got like 2 more podcasts, and we're going to take off like a month. I need to get all this stuff out, make sure we're good. We're on MNN Network now. You can see us on Spectrum channel, on the Spectrum cable of channel 34, FiOS channel 33, and RCN channel 82. The first episode will be Dr. Shonda Macias
Okay.
of Women Grow. And episode 2 will be Don Morris, my sponsor. And they're all a little rough cut, but everyone will see the growth. I'm actually seeing it now.
Yes.
You know, so I just want to remind everyone, July 23rd, we have the Canacure Farms. We picked up a transportation sponsor in the Sanctuary Garden. Thank you, Darren Hudson. You're the best. We are tickets are on Event High, and you get a continental breakfast, a lunch, goodie bag. You get a tour. You also get be part of a class and part of a small podcast. And it's a beautiful vacation, spiritual holistic vacation. I always get that wrong. August 15th, and I'm inviting you to this one, Kat. I'll send you an email.
Please.
We have the Elevate Innovate card licensee, New York City Cannabis Licensee Summit. That'll be on August 15th at Trends. We'll have guest speakers, and I'm going to have Kat up there for about 5 minutes to talk. Will be curated by High End Treats, High End Eats, Chef Sam Burchell. The mocktail bar will be hosted by Exhale Social Pro and sponsored by Green Spectrum CBD. Nice. So we are so happy. Things are moving forward. I'm so glad that I'm having great news. We picked up 2 new sponsors.
Man.
Yeah, and Just a Woman Cannabis, Marjorie and Sam Forbes Mendez. Thank you so much for taking care of my StreamYard. Yeah, you see, that's how I negotiate.
That part, yes, I caught that.
I don't fucking need.
I caught that.
I would love to get a $20,000, $30,000, $40,000.
Well, you got StreamYard paid for the year.
But I got StreamYard up here. I ain't got to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? I need my Dropbox paid. I need like 2 terabytes. Can you hook me up $20?
Exactly.
That's what we just need. I just need enough, and always to pay my staff.
Amen.
To pay my staff, right?
Amen.
I can. Everybody keeps, and everybody's right. I should be getting paid too.
So often.
Yeah, I know, right? What did you say? Wait a minute. What did you say? What did you say? Anyway, yeah, I should. And I haven't been on one in 5 years. So, yeah, I told you.
I know.
Yeah, I've been by myself. So, and then we have so much going forward. We have the podcast. You're going to see more Miss Kitty Rose. You're going to see great interviews coming up. And just to put it out there, Papa Duke's, the OG Social Network podcast, is putting together I'm doing it. I'm putting together a Cannabis Day parade for next year.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So I'm going to be hitting up the city and hitting up the governments and putting it all together. So I'm going to do it hopefully in May, the first Saturday in May. Or we'll figure it out. The World Cup is supposed to be here. Okay. So we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. So thank you all so much for joining the podcast. I love you all. I think you all are amazing. Remember, we are to be united. Congratulations to Zohran Mamdani for his win on the primary. And we know if you stay on point, you're going to be the mayor. You're going to be the mayor. So work with all of us. And I have formally announced myself as a socialist Democrat anyway.
Okay.
I've always been that way because we have to share. We have to take care of. We have to work together. And it's about community. It's not about just power and all that crap. We got to really help each other out. The best societies in the world take care of their children and their seniors. So let's be a better society. God bless America. God bless the world. And relax, relate, release. We'll talk soon.